We are just over a month away from the 2018 season beginning, and we've been dropping some content for our early contenders list, and up next is the top 10 toughest schedules in high school football. Starting it off at number 10 is the Marietta Catholic. They ball in one of the toughest leagues in the country, the WCAC, so they already have games lined up against St. John's, Gonzaga, and Good Counsel, and a couple of tough non-league games against Florida Power, St. Thomas Aquinas, and a very talented Imhotep Charter on the road in Philly. Las Vegas Power, Bishop Gorman checks in at number 9, and while they don't have the toughest in-state games, they make up for it with out-of-state matchups. They open up with the defending national champs Mater Dei to kick off the 2018 season on August 24th on ESPNU. The Monarchs snapped their 55-game winning streak last year, so you know the Gales can't wait for this one. They also have out-of-state games against the defending 5A Arizona State champ Centennial, the defending 4A Utah State champs Orem, and end the out-of-state matchups with a game in NorCal against De La Salle on September 14th. The defending non-public Group 4 state champs Bergen Catholic check in with the 8th hardest schedule in 2018. The Jersey Power won its first state title since 2004 last year and open up this season with a matchup against Georgia Power Grayson, who will be ranked in the top 10 when we drop our initial top 25 later in July. The North Jersey Super Red United League is one of the toughest in the country, so they already have games lined up with St. Peter's Prep, Don Bosco Prep, Paramus Catholic, and St. Joseph Regional, and they also have a couple other tough games lined up against Archbishop Wood and DePaul Catholic, both teams who won state titles in 2017. One of two teams from Georgia checks in at number 7, and it is one of the most talented teams in the country, Marietta High School. And anytime you got Harrison Bailey, Eric Gilbert, and Ramil Keaton on your squad, you're going to be a problem no matter who is on your schedule. Up first for Marietta is the defending 5A Georgia State champs, Rome, who brings in a 27-game winning streak. They also have games lined up with Grayson, Good Counsel, McEachern, and a huge road contest in DC against National Power St. John's. South Florida makes an appearance on the list as Roland Smith and Miami Central check in at number 6. They play in one of the toughest districts in the country, so they got games lined up with the defending 6A state champs Northwestern and a very talented Carroll City team, and before that they got 3 monster games on the road against Cardinal Gibbons, St. John's, and a matchup against St. Thomas Aquinas in one of the biggest games of the year. In one of the toughest 4-game stretches to open up the season, the team that checks in at number 5 might have the hardest of any team this year, Hoover High School. They've won back-to-back 7A state titles and will have a chance to three-peat with the team they have coming back in 2018. They open up against Bo Nix and Pinson Valley on August 25th on ESPN, then take on DC Power St. John's. The following week, they face off against Talalia, Tungo Bailoa, and Thompson, then end that 4-week stretch against Paul Tyson and Hewitt Trustville's loaded roster. These 4 teams combined to go 47-4 in 2017, and Hoover ends the regular season with a big-time matchup against IMG Academy on November 2nd. Checking in at number 4 is the second of the 2 teams from the Peach State, Grayson High School. They open up against a very talented Tucker team on August 25th. 6 days later, they face New Jersey Power Bergen Catholic, then end a tough 3-week stretch against Marietta. A couple other marquee games on the schedule for the Rams include a matchup against Colquitt County and a game Grayson has circled on the calendar that's going down on October 12th against Archer. The number 3 team on our list is IMG Academy. They have games lined up against the defending Pennsylvania 6A state champs Pine Richland, a game on the road in Nevada against Liberty in the Polynesian Classic on September 7th, then follow that up with a big-time 3-game stretch against St. John's in DC, followed up with a trip to SoCal against the defending national champs Mater Dei, and then come back home to take on the defending 6A Florida State champs Northwestern, and they end their 2018 season on the road against Alabama Power Hoover. Now, I went back and forth between the top 2 teams on the list, but I ended up putting St. John's number 2, and the boys from DC have a crazy 5-game slate from August 31st until September 29th, lined up against Hoover, Miami Central, IMG Academy, Marietta, and Christian Brothers. Then they have a tough 3-game stretch against Good Counsel, at DeMatha, and end the regular season with a matchup at Gonzaga. Checking in at number 1 is the defending national champs, the Mater Dei Monarchs. They ball in the toughest league in the country, the Trinity League, and also have some very tough out-of-league matchups lined up in 2018. After their season opener against Bishop Vermont, they hit the road to Vegas to take on Bishop Gorman on August 24th. Then on September 7th, they face a very talented St. Mary's team, followed up with the game of the year against IMG Academy, and after that, it's time for the Trinity League as they take on Servite, Santa Margarita, St. John Bosco, J. Sarah, and Orange Lutheran to finish up the 2018 season. And on top of that, they will have to play in the toughest postseason bracket, the CIF Southern Section Division 1 field, and if they get through that, they will have to beat NorCal's top team, which will likely be Folsom or De La Salle.